My goodness, in this episode, Skeletor is at it again. Hey guys, welcome back to Coins Age Media. I am Rodney Stewart, nerd, spectacular, watching cartoons, love it. Yes, this episode of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe is called Collosssor Awakes, and in this one it's pretty much action from start to finish. At the beginning, Skeletor has created a new device that's like an energy transfer device. And basically what it does is it turns any living being to stone and transfers that energy to a ship that Skeletor has. He's flying about in this episode, him and Beastman, and they're shooting people, turning them to stone, collecting their energy, and then they're taking it to a giant statue called Collosssor, and they're transferring that energy into him to bring him to life. And likewise, the machine can turn other stone objects to life, and that happens quite a bit at the start of the episode. He takes out a lot of the guards with the machine. He takes out Man-at-Arms as well, turns him to stone. Later on in the episode he also gets Orko as well, but he brings stone statues to life in the palace grounds and they attack. So there's a lot of battling going on between the remaining forces of the palace guard, Battle Cat and Teela, Stratos and Ram Man turn up in this episode again. Ram Man is absolutely hilarious. I love that little character. Yes, but the thing that the sorceress needs to change the effects of the ray, the stone ray, it's just called the stone ray for this episode, is fire jewels. So He-Man and Teela have to go on a little side journey in this episode to cave to find these firestones, and the sorceress warns them that before this is over you're going to walk through fire. And he goes into the cave and he gets these fire jewels, puts them in a little bag, but he drops a couple of them, and that starts a chain reaction in the cave, which is part of a volcano, and it starts a lava eruption that he has to get across to get out. So he doesn't technically walk through fire, but he does pole vault his way out of it, and he gets back to the sorceress. She's at the palace at this point, and she uses her magic on the fire jewels to create a little magical device that will change the polarity of Skeletor's ray gun, and bring life back to the people that were turned to stone. But this all has to happen before sundown, or it's going to be a permanent thing. So He-Man has to actually gain access to Skeletor's ship, which he manages to do. Of course, he's He-Man, he's just fabulous all over. And he manages to get this little device of the sorceresses onto the ray gun. And of course, this is Skeletor's constantly going back and forth, taking out more people, transferring their energy to Collosssor. He does manage to get him active and sends him to gain access to Grayskull form, so he can discover the secrets of Grayskull and become the ultimate master of the universe. But as he comes back for another attempt to grab more energy, he accidentally brings everyone back to life. Not at all amused, of course. And at this point Collosssor is already on a collision course of Grayskull, so the end of the episode is a final confrontation with him and the combined forces of He-Man, Ram-Man, Stratos, Man-at-Arms, using all their abilities against this giant stone statue. Like, you're talking probably 70 to 80 feet tall, compared to He-Man. He only comes up to the ankle in this thing. But they managed to take him out, kind of like the Snow Walker scene in The Empire Strikes Back. You know, they use the tow cables to tie the feet, and then the walkers fall over. Similar sort of setup to how they get rid of Collosssor at the end of this episode. And one superhero punch from He-Man devastates him completely. So that is a very quick spoiler-filled review of that episode. Like, it's just, you know, as far as story building and things of that nature, there's very little of that happening in here. You just get the characters at their basics in this one. You know, you've got the villains doing bad stuff, you've got the heroes doing epic stuff. Probably the only character development we see in this one is He-Man's mother using her Earth knowledge earlier in the episode to try and help Man-at-Arms while he's in the stone statue form, her Earth science. So it's, you know, it's interesting to bring that into it as well. Like we did discover early in the series that she's originally from Earth, so He-Man is half human, half Eternian. So yes, that's about it for this review, really. The PSA at the end of this one, usually it would have something to do with the nature of the episode. We just watch something that happened to character in the episode. They'll usually get into that for the public service announcement at the end of the episode, but not in this one. There's very little of that happening in here. At the end of it, we do see He-Man and Teela, they're out having a jog, and it's pretty much like a, you know, exercise is good for you sort of a finish to this one, you know. And He-Man's like, you know, people should really go and check with their doctors before they start doing exercise, and even then they should only start with a little exercise and work their way up and do it properly, sort of thing, because you've only got one body and you need to look after it, sort of thing. Which is something that kind of hit home to me, because I'm on a health kick at the minute. I'm not just as fat as what I was this time last year, and yes, definitely, that's what I love with this series. You know, it's the random little things that happen in the PSAs. Then it's very rarely you get a show with them, and especially a cartoon where the main characters actually like break the fourth wall and talk to. Is that the right even way of saying it? Break the fourth wall? I need to look that up. I could be saying that wrong. I'm almost sure it's break the fourth wall, where the character talks to the viewer. I can't recall any other series doing that. I could be wrong. There's a heck of a lot of stuff I haven't seen in my life. I'm a giant geek, but I haven't seen everything. But this one here is the only one stands out in my mind that have done it. I know back in the 80s there was Transformers and G.I. Joe did do public service announcements on television. You would get like a little 20-second thing where, and now you know, and knowing is half the battle. You got that sort of stuff. It was never part of, and I can't speak for G.I. Joe, but I can speak for Transformers, because I'm a huge geek, nerd fan of the Transformers, and that's going to get the crap reviewed out of it on this channel very soon. But Transformers definitely didn't do it. Don't believe G.I. Joe done it. Could be wrong. Wasn't a huge fan of them. Only seen maybe one or two of them in my time, and even at that there, I think I was doing something like being a fat kid and eating too many treats and sweets and stuff, which means this would have been a perfect episode for me to actually have watched whenever I was a child, because the last thing I was doing at that age was exercising. I was eating.